What's up, everybody? My name is Nicholas Holt.
And I'm Jacob Holt, and this is the Holt Perspective.
We're
Welcome in.
back. We're back.
We are back.
Lots has changed since the last time we talked.
Sure has.
We're in the thick of the season. It's an exciting time.
Semifinal leaderboard, I think, is finalized at this point.
Uh-huh,
We're
uh-huh,
close to it.
But before we want to get
WFP.
into that, we first want to put out for the Holt Perspective listeners out there. We've got an awesome deal over at Apex PNC. You get a little 20% discount on whatever they sell on, like all the different things that they sell on their website, from nutrition stuff to merchandise to nutrition tracks, from coaching tracks, all that stuff. So if you're interested, go ahead and give Apex PNC a direct message and just say Apex 20, and then he'll get you set up, and he'll get you set up with what you need, and give you the code that you can put into the website to get your 20% discount off.
Yeah.
We're
Awesome.
super excited to partner with them for the Whole Perspective Summer Camp. It's coming up.
It is coming up about
Gonna be here before we know it.
5-6 weeks away now.
Yeah, it's gonna be a blast. Cool. So we were gonna kind of dive into what we've missed, but the big thing that we want to talk about is the World Fitness Project.
The WFP. Finally got to see what they were all about. Their first tour 1, finished up this past weekend, and we got to see, how they were as not a direct competitor to CrossFit per se, maybe. Not a direct competitor, but
We all know they're trying to take it over.
they were doing some fitness. They were competing while doing fitness this weekend, and it was fun to kind of see that.
And they
Results,
were doing CrossFit. That's what they were doing as well.
they may have sprinkled some in. But the results there, I mean, on the guy's side, had Hatfield taking it away, kind of putting his stamp on the season early and often right now. And then rounded out the podium with Sprague and Hopper.
They're so fun to watch.
They are fun to watch. I mean, that was crazy, especially on the guy's side. I mean, the last day, crazy switch up as far
So
as
much switch up.
Like,
Adler went from like second place to like ninth place or something like that, 8th place, 7th place.
I think
Big
it was
drop.
like mid
because
top 10.
He gambled on those overhead walking lunges and didn't
Yeah.
pay off.
No. But I mean, you were going into the last event and you're like, all right, like podium's locked up, maybe positioning's maybe not locked up, but podium's there, and then
Nope.
Not the case. Hopper made a big jump on that last one.
Yeah. Just like the highest of highs after that first workout of just absolutely smashing everybody, and the lowest of lows after that last one. It was tough to watch.
That is. On the girls' side, when Gazan, Brandon, and Kringle in the top 3 there.
And Kringle's a newer name.
She's a newer name. She's getting on it. She's doing well. She did good on the online semifinal as well.
Yeah, she qualified. I'm almost sure. Let's make sure. I'm pretty sure she qualified.
I'm pretty sure she, because I mean, that's one thing.
Yep, she came in 9th place.
If you look at the top 10 on both the guys and the girls' side, you're finding very few, if any, WFP exclusive people.
I know. I think that's important to talk about. Like, before the season, everyone's talking about how much competing there's going to be going on this year, and how, like, if you're trying to do both seasons, it's going to be way too much, and blah, 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 blah. But you look at the leaderboard, and guess who is at the top? The people that were doing both.
And people that just did the online semifinals the weekend before.
And those workouts were no slouch.
No.
They were repeating workouts too. Like, I think a lot of people were repeating workouts. I mean, you had a bunch of back squats at 275. You had up to 75 ring muscle ups. I think Adler did like 73 ring muscle ups. Right. You had a ton of midline in it. You had all those toes to bar. Probably around 150 toes to bar, somewhere around 100 GHDs, somewhere around 25 to 30 rope climbs. Um, I mean, a ton.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I
yeah, I
don't think.
mean, you go ahead.
No, I'm saying that with WFP, um, I don't know if if they're trying to differentiate athletes and like hold on to their WFP exclusives. They're not necessarily a competitor in that sense to CrossFit. CrossFit
Right.
is still king as far as the games go.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that they can be very good CrossFit adjacent, and they can join forces with them.
Right.
I
And
hope
I
they
think
can
this,
take a page out of the PGA and live and just see
hmm
how great that was. Obviously, Rocky at first. PGA, I
hmm
mean, golf, especially a very traditionalist sport.
hmm
Don't change anything. A lot of unwritten rules. Live kind of burst out on the scene. And then after, I mean, I
2 years, 3 years.
yeah, not even a full 2 years, I don't think, until they were starting talking and actually got that partnership and their combo and both of them together. It's like
Yeah.
if
Yeah. I
WFP
hope
can
that's what
do that
happens
too.
because I mean, it was, I mean, for a spectator standpoint, the WFP did an incredible job.
Yeah,
Like I wasn't even there. I got to hear a little from people that were there and just how cool it was to watch. You had the best athletes in the world competing. I mean, you talk about Patrick Vellner came in like 20th place.
right.
BKG was like 23rd. I mean, we're talking like games athletes through and through in the first heat because of how stacked the lineups were. It was incredible. And
Mm-hmm.
the workouts were great. The venue was awesome. The live stream was awesome. The talent was incredible. I mean, it was so fun to watch. Um, but then that gets into like, is it sustainable? And I say no. I don't think it's sustainable for it to live separate. They
Yeah.
got to come together at some point. What that looks like, I don't know. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I could see it in multiple ways, like you were saying, how they kind of came together, like the live in the PGA. I could also see it as CrossFit's going through this whole, selling thing. I could see that when they sell, the people who buy take care of CrossFit, methodology, HQ, things like that. And then WFP takes care of the professionalism of the athletes.
Right.
I think that would be awesome. Like if they joined forces in that way, because I mean it was an incredible thing, but I think it was so expensive.
Yeah.
Just like everything that they had the athletes doing before. I mean, they all came down a week early and were like hanging out at the Indy 500 track. They were going around from all like the merchandise they were getting, the jackets. They were doing things. They were doing all these awesome things, getting treated incredible. I think Sprague talked about like in one of his posts, he talked about how like he felt treated like talent instead of like
Yeah.
showing up to a competition or something along the lines of like we were treated like we were professionals and it was
That's huge.
awesome.
That's huge.
And you can get a better show out of people that feel like they're respected and treated great. But with that comes with a whole bunch of money.
Yeah.
And I don't know where they're getting this money from. I think what Hiller posted something where he's like he did the math and he thinks it's somewhere around a $15 million competition
Yeah. You
because
know.
they flew him out. They paid for food. They paid for everything. I mean, you can't sustain a $15 million competition 3 times a year
No.
unless they're getting crazy donations.
I
If they
mean,
are,
maybe they're like live in the sense that they've got a Saudi oil company that
right?
they're doing
No
the
one,
same
no
thing
one
with
talks
it.
about where this money's coming from, but it keeps showing
Mhm.
up.
But I mean, yeah, I think a combination is inevitable and best for both of them because I mean it can follow like there can still be a games at the end,
Mm-hmm.
but each semifinal and
Mm-hmm.
WFP tour it's going to change names and not necessarily be a semifinal, but like you get points throughout the whole season, and then depending on your points is when you can get to the games,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where you get both of them. You get to see two different sides of it, and they can still run it similarly how WFP runs it, how CrossFit runs it. Like they do run things differently, and that's fine. Like you can have a CrossFit event and you can have a WFP event, but then they're all going towards that end goal of the final. Maybe don't call it the CrossFit Games if that's going to be. They don't
World
want to switch
Championships, right? I
that,
think
but
they
they
call it the World Championships right now.
do some
The
champion.
WFP.
Yeah,
Hmm. Yeah, I
right.
mean, I think it can work. I think that if they do it, they can do it, and I'm excited. I think that this is where the sport needs to go for the
Great
professional
for the
side of things.
spectator. Yeah.
You can't have the whole season ride on 3 days of a
No.
weekend.
No.
You can't do it. You can't put everything on like, hey, you don't get to move on to the next stage if you. I mean, you think back to Travis Mayer, right? It was he hurt his hand in Wadapalooza last year. He just had a wrist sprain, but he
Hmm.
couldn't do one of the open workouts, so he couldn't move on to the quarterfinals. He couldn't go to the semifinals. His whole season was done
Yep.
because he sprained his wrist or something along those lines. Couldn't do one workout
And
in February
yep.
when he's going to go and obviously is good enough to make it to the CrossFit Games.
Yep.
It can't work like that. That's not the way professional sports work.
Nope.
Um, so yeah, I'm excited about it. I think it was awesome. I think it
Yeah.
was like you said in the beginning, it was a little bit of unknown, but we kind of knew it was going to happen. But it definitely blew away my expectations. I thought they
It
did
was
an awesome job.
it was awesome. They did a really good
Hmm.
job.
Hmm. All right. Well, one last plug for the Apex
Yep.
PNC discount code. Remember, go ahead and DM Apex PNC on Instagram or Facebook or any way you can get to them. Email them, and they'll set you up with a 20% discount on some good stuff. They do
Yeah.
a really good job over there, and we're super excited to partner with them for the summer camp coming up.
Gonna be awesome. Yeah.
All right. With that, I'm Nicholas Holt.
And I'm Jacob Holt. Thanks for tuning in.